listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily, Dean and Alun Cochrane. Don't text the show today because we're not actually here at this specific place in the space-time continuum. You can follow the show on Twitter, however, at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. We'll read the stuff eventually. But, you know, I'm on a beach. So, well, I'm not, but, you know.
Oh.
That's what people say. Hello.
I didn't picture you on a beach there.
No.
You're
It's cold.
You're very unbeach-like.
Well, I don't have a beach body. I've always been quite ashamed of my upper, but I've got a really lovely lower body.
You've got a great leg.
Oh, thank you. But I look great in behind a half-open stable door. If it's the right door that's open.
Does this explain your strange sleepwear decisions?
Well,
Yes, I suppose it does. I'm just wearing a
it?
pyjama jacket, yeah.
Yeah.
you're something of
Play
a
to your strengths.
I've always felt it was the wrong way round for
Well,
how most people would.
It's a great motto for bedwear, play to your strengths.
Al, he would have made a great centaur.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I've often thought that.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of details now which I don't feel we should go into, but yes, I know what you mean. Now, I've been... here's the thing, let's start off with a little quiz, shall we?
You love a quiz.
Oh, yeah, go on.
I love a little quiz. Now then, I've been doing something this week, daily,
Yeah.
which I never thought in a million years I would ever do. And it's something
Is it
which...
clean your teeth?
Do you know what?
What?
You're very much on the right track.
Wow.
That was a fabulous guess. In fact, it was a Darren Brown-like in its accuracy.
You're joking. Is it close? I was
It's
just...
very close.
I was just being cruel.
Gotta be
Not
flossing.
flossing?
No.
Whitening.
Yes, I've been bleaching my teeth.
You haven't.
Yes.
3 guesses. That's great.
That is amazing.
Well,
We're
that's
good.
great, but
This
why
Darren
can't I
Brown
see
guy.
any evidence of it?
Well, these things, when the dentist put this to me as a proposal, when a
I
dentist...
didn't know about any proposal.
When a dentist says, and this is on as an opener, can I speak to you man to man? It's a bit worrying. And he says, I think we should whiten your teeth. And I said, I associate teeth whitening with people who don't like books. I'm not prepared to do... And he said, I'm not talking about whitening so much as less green. He honestly said that.
I think
Green?
No, Les Green, you may know, was the Derby County goalkeeper.
Oh, I thought he was the lead singer in Scritti Politti. Can I just say, no, he was called Green, that man.
Oh, okay.
Your teeth are looking a bit nicer.
Are they? Is it working?
I think you're about 4% more fanciable.
Well, I'm on day 6 of it, and I
It's
can't
nice.
see...
I just thought you'd been on a
Smile.
sunbed or something. Have you got a tan as well? You haven't gone sunbed too?
No, I haven't gone sunbed.
Turning into Bradley Walsh.
Oh, man. In
Yeah,
3 weeks.
I'm
Can you
sort of
smile?
3
Ryland.
weeks, different guy.
Well, I've always
do you
been very
feel?
anti it. It's
I
a
know.
horrible process. I had no idea.
Is it?
Has he given you the bases to take home?
He's given me like a
bases?
double gum shield
Yeah.
to wear, and I had to squirt basically bleach into it.
Right.
Every day for how long?
10 days, he
Yeah.
said.
Presumably
And I
it's
said,
a special bleach, not just like a domestic...
Oh, no,
you've
it's
got
not
in the house.
domestos. I'm not having a road to domestos experience.
No.
I said to him, I don't want to get one of those... I don't want teeth like Jimmy Carr.
Oh,
I
poor
said,
Jimmy.
I said, I don't want... but you know what I mean? It looks all right on a... It doesn't look... It looks terrible on everyone.
Oh, no.
But I said, I can't... I disapprove of that super white teeth thing. He said, can I tell you something? If we carry on with this process, I'm not sure that you'd live long enough to get your teeth super white.
That told you.
Which was harsh. I dream of, when you cross the road on a zebra cross,
Sorry, Frank, continue.
you know when you cross on a zebra crossing, I used to do the wave, and now I just look and I smile at the person in the car. I dream of looking across and smiling, and they bring the sunshade down. But it hasn't happened yet.
Frank, they are looking slightly better.
Are they really?
I think they are, yeah.
I keep looking to see if there's any improvement.
I mean, I never looked at them this much before, so it's hard because I haven't got like a...
They look less
We need a before and
craggy.
after shot.
I know.
really.
I wish now I took a. Well, I suppose every photo of me for the last 30
I was
years
gonna
would
say, I've
qualify
got
as
a
a
few.
before.
Yeah, I wonder if... I was just thinking, I wonder if there are previous photographs of you.
Well, I got to the point. You know, when you get spinach stuck to your teeth,
Yeah.
and it's it's a bit of a comment. People weren't noticing. So it's such a rigmarole though. I can't. I'll tell you more.
Okay.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So have you had teeth whitening done, Alan?
No? I did have a gum shield once when I used to grind my teeth in my sleep, and the dentist
Gum shield?
fitted me up for a gum shield.
Thriller in Manila?
Yeah, I dreamt I was heavyweight champion of the world.
Kath was given a gum shield because she grinds her teeth in the
I
bed.
do as well.
And of course, Kath said, "Yeah, I'm just thinking, what if I inhaled it in the night?"
Yeah.
Which is a fair point.
There's a lot of grinders out there.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, there's a website.
But I'm not getting many answers.
Well, now you've had your teeth whitened,
Well,
you
who
will.
knows what could happen next? And do you know what? Something I didn't know is I have to eat white food
Yes.
during the process.
Is that right?
Yes, because I've done it before.
Oh.
You've done it.
Yeah, in the past.
Well, you've kept that under your fedora.
No, I'm sure I've been open about my
Have you?
procedure. Yeah, basically what happens is I had to have white bread, everything is white, milk.
Rice?
Milk, definitely white.
I went for chicken soup and rice, they recommend
Mashed
as well.
potato, maybe?
Yeah. The worst thing you can do is coffee, obviously.
Is it?
Well, I had
Beetroot,
for
red
breakfast.
wine.
Oh, I love beetroot.
Oh, you can't have beetroot. That's out of the question. I had this morning for breakfast. I had 7 Milky Bars. You know what? I'd started unravelling the 8th, and I thought,
Yeah.
too much for me. Oh, and I had the southern end of a leek.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but apart from it's hard eating the whole. I had a baby chino as well.
A baby Gino.
How
You
long?
get
Start
very
the days you mean
inventive.
to go on.
Surprisingly inventive.
I'm really glad you've done
good.
this.
Really?
Well-
I wonder if I haven't let myself down from a sort of, working class man of the people point of view.
No. It's basic hygiene and cleanliness. And
Well,
it's,
hang
It's
on.
being
Whoa.
considerate to your fellow man.
Hang on.
Thank
I've
you.
never done it, and so
I know.
lacking in basic hygiene and cleanliness.
I know.
Yeah, but yours aren't green. I mean, mine, come on.
Yours aren't green.
I mean, come on.
They're not white either, though. I'm not on an all-white diet.
But they
I drink
weren't like that
coffee,
Highgate Cemetery over
No,
there.
exactly. Mine's like the Incredible Hulk. In fact, I bet the Incredible Hulk's teeth look really, really white because
Yeah.
he's green.
Yeah.
Because there used to be that Gordon Moore toothpaste. Do you remember that?
No.
You put it and it makes your gums
Gordon
go.
Moore?
Yeah, that makes your gums go dark red,
Oh, I've
which
seen that one.
alternatively makes your teeth look white. But really, he said to me, I said, look, how do I know when to stop with this? Because from what I see of, your islands and all that,
Like,
they
you're
don't-
not going to end up like Ryland.
they don't know when to stop these people.
No.
And he said to me, try and keep an eye on the whites of your eyes. If they
Yeah.
get whiter than the whites of your eyes, they're too white. And
Why are you planning on getting them?
Well, I love the idea of matching them exactly with the whites, to suggest that my head has got some sort of white lining, like a Kinder egg. I could match them exactly. Well, honestly, part of it, I mean, I'm slightly self-loathing about it. Mm-hmm. But
I'm sensing that from you.
way he put it to me was, look, they're starting to look a bit horrible. In fact, he got these plastic teeth out. He said, what we'll do, we'll match the colour they are now, and we'll make a note of that. So he got like one that's called like A7 or something.
Yeah.
He held that next to me. And then he said, we'll see where they are next time you come in, and you'll see the improvement.
Lovely.
And then he hadn't got a plastic tooth that were as green as my teeth.
You're joking.
No.
Is this guy a professional? Is this...
No, he's very good.
No,
He
I
used to be
know
a
those
comic.
charts.
He used to be a comic.
He was on the bill the very first gig
still
I
is
did.
if he's doing your
him.
teeth. I know those charts, Frank. And
Yes.
they go pretty dark.
I know. I don't know why I've got this. I mean,
How are the rest of your family? Have they got these teeth?
yeah, they have more or
Okay.
less.
Well, your teeth look lovely now. I noticed something a little different about you. It's like when someone has a facelift. There's just something changed a little bit.
Well, I thought I'll wait and see if Kath mentions it. Then I've whitened them too much because
Has she?
She doesn't really pay that much attention to me physically. She hasn't mentioned a damn thing. I mean, what can you say? And I've been reading in bed by the light of them. And still no reference.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Starting to think I shouldn't have had coffee and beetroot during that song. It was a bit of a mistake.
I'm looking through old photos of Frank, actually.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
reminiscing about the old teeth back in the day.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, I don't like to broadcast air our dirty linen in public here, but during that link you were talking
I'm
to
not
Frank
cleaning my dirty linen.
about his teeth whitening experiment, saying, I just think it's hygienic, Frank. I think it's like shaving, and I don't do that either. So not only have I not whitened my teeth, but now I'm here bearded, and I'm feeling really out the loop, guys.
Yeah, but you're a good-looking young man. What you have to be careful with
take
at
that.
my
It's
age...
not true, but I'll take
you
that.
are very hot.
I'll take that. It's not true, but I'm going to take this because I feel
Frank,
quite
so are
bruised
you,
over here.
especially with those teeth.
Yeah, well...
Okay.
Nice.
But you know, one of the dangers
Am I
is...
doing all right?
You know that thing when you get like a new carpet and the rest of the room looks
Oh, yeah.
shabbier than it did before.
Yeah.
I think, you know, sometimes
I know that
when
exactly.
older people dye their hair and they forgot to dye their faces.
It's a bit bulldog in a wig. I
Yeah.
know that one.
Is it Brian Park, who I think is the head of a rival radio group? But that's
Which?
not what I'm saying.
Richard Park.
Richard Park, yeah, but he's got a much younger man's hair. But he stopped with the face.
Well, it's
And
got
I
a much
respect
younger
him.
man's hair that he looks like he bought from Boots.
Well, I don't know. But you can't just match it. You've got to match them. You can't you can't have a hodgepodge of a face like that.
You haven't gone mad with the teeth.
Not yet.
You haven't
Not
gone
yet.
full.
This is only day 6. I got another 4 hypodermics to use.
I don't like the hypodermic.
That's what you do. You squirt it into
Squirt it into the gum
mold.
shield.
Oh, honestly, it's and it hurts.
It does. How long do you leave them
my
on
teeth
for
get
then?
super sensitive. About 2 hours.
Oh, you don't sleep in it?
Oh no! What if I inhaled it? Did you forget that warning already? No, it's you suddenly get shooting pains through your teeth, like toothache, instant toothache.
I don't know if you're meant to get those, Frank.
It's taken the skin off my gums a bit as well. These are just a few of the recommendations.
You don't think brushing could be like a viable alternative? Is that
No,
not
brushing will never get that level of.
agony?
You know,
Well, I'm going to say moss. That's not going to come off.
It is like that.
It was. It's not anymore. You're a different person
I look
now.
like Soodley Castle from a distance. Anyway, what next?
Now you look more like Andrew Castle.
Is it going to be? Yes. Is it going to be a little bit of Grecian 2000 coming up?
Oh,
mate? I hope
right.
over my dead body.
Maybe the eyes? That would be my...
Would you get the eyes done,
I've
would
got
you?
terrible crow's feet.
Oh no!
Trouble is, I've never seen anyone. I would be having surgery like a shot, but the face would be totally different. But I've never seen anyone have it done where it doesn't look like it's surgery.
Right.
That's the problem.
Well,
So-
but we wouldn't know, would we? Because if it didn't look like it was surgery, we wouldn't
I
know.
always know. I'm going to
Really?
wait a few years till they perfect it a bit more,
They're still
and
working
then we'll
on it,
see.
eh?
Yeah, but you know what, Frank? Your teeth look great.
Thank you so much. Can I say I love you all?
Well,
Yeah.
Al didn't join in.
No, I think they do. I said earlier I thought he was tanned. I didn't know what it was.
That's weird, though, isn't it? You don't. It's
I know.
rather than going on holiday, you just get your teeth white. It's all relative.
Saves on travel time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
What was your friends in Birmingham back in the day think of you getting your teeth whitened?
I don't know. They're all dead.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
The other thing is, you know, I told you after my belly went into the red zone on the doctor's tape measure, red for danger. Did I tell you about
Oh
this?
yeah.
You did,
Do you
yeah,
know
yeah.
about this, Al?
Yeah, Yeah, it's not great news, is it? It's not.
No.
I'm seeing a lot of specialists
Could you possibly see it as great news in any way?
I don't know. I mean, it's
I
treasure
didn't
eating.
look down and go, result?
You know.
No, it's... So I took on something I've avoided for most of my life, and that's salads.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Well, careful of the beetroot in these salads,
no,
Frank.
that's a no-go at the moment.
Tomatoes,
Good luck eating the white salad.
Tomatoes is
lovely.
his
Quinoa.
kryptonite.
I've just peeled a few radishes.
Yeah, I don't want to know about
love a
that,
radish.
thank you.
Yeah, I've peeled a few radishes in my time. Tell you that. You know what I'm talking about?
No, not really.
No, I don't. But, if you say anything in that, you say almost.
It could be 1973 ITV.
Yeah, I've grated a bit of Gouda in my time, you know what I'm saying? Anything, you can say anything.
Yeah.
Hey? Changed a few fan belts.
I mean, that one is quite close.
See, what's happened is I've circled it, but I'm getting close to the actual the core topic, and I'm trying to avoid it like the plague.
Yeah.
If
taking on
there's anyone
salad.
listening who's got the plague,
Yeah.
no, I don't. I'm
No,
not saying. I'm not saying it's a comedy.
No one's got the plague anymore.
No, that's a warning for the absolute decade stations, isn't it? You don't know how far back they go now.
Exactly.
I mean, no one's
that's-
had it since, I believe it was 1665.
Is it how long it's been?
If that's the right year, I'll be so happy with myself. I think it is. I paid attention at
Well, if
school.
anyone's listening and
Why
knows,
did I bother? I could have just been a YouTuber. Why did I bother paying attention, learning those dates? I was like, help me, 1665.
No,
I could have just gone, hi guys.
You're a much fuller person. You don't want to be one of those people. You know what they're like, whitening their. Oh.
Hi guys.
So what was he saying? The plague's
The plague,
all right.
1665.
Respect to the plague sufferers.
Respect to the plague.
Respect.
That's another job I'll use. Of course, I've been working as a medieval tooth double in films for years. That's all gone. Yes.
Respect, Al, to the plague.
Well, you know.
Do people still get the plague?
No!
Okay, that's tremendous news. Remember, we are on.
What station is this?
Remember, we are on FM in the West Midlands.
Well,
Before you rush into that, no.
The plague, the Black Death we're talking about.
Yes.
The plague, perhaps the plague does exist now. We just perhaps don't call it the plague. Because
No.
that's not a very sensitive, nice thing to call something.
But we're talking about the Black Death. I think that one that's carried by fleas on rats, that's
Yes.
gone. That's all
Okay.
been sorted out.
Yeah, I got rid of him.
I mean, this show's got a history of late reviews, but I think this is one of the latest.
I'm not really
we've done.
reviewing it. I mean, I'd say my feeling is it was it was
talking about the
negative.
plague
It was essentially negative.
Yeah, but you're asking if it's still around.
Well, it could be still around. Still
Frank
rats. There's
gives-
still fleas. There's still people. We got all the ingredients.
Hang on, let me write that down.
Frank, you're giving the plague, what, 3 stars? 2 stars. News of the world, 2 bottles of beer. That's what they used to give films.
There.
I think
beers.
it's don't miss it.
Don't
That's what
miss
I'm saying. I worked with TV chef Tom Kerridge.
Work with them all.
Yeah.
Well, he's worked with all the chefs.
Yeah.
So I asked
Some better
him.
than
I
others.
said, "Look, I'm
He's
really."
lost a lot of weight.
He has lost a lot of weight.
Looks great.
He's so I thought he's the man to ask about the salads, and I said, "Do you eat a lot of salad now?" And he said, "Oh, I do. I do. You got it right." And I said,
Sounds a bit Black Death.
"Yeah." He's wearing an eye patch, and one hand was a hook, and he was stirring. He's doing a lot of stirring that day. In fact, it wasn't a hook; it was a whisk. I take it back. He said the secret is that you mix a bit of chorizo, is it?
Chorizo.
Chorizo. Use a
Yeah.
bit of chorizo with it, or a bit of salad cream
What do you mean, the secret to what?
To
to salad, to making it edible.
Well, you can't have chorizo.
Well, that's what I thought. It's going against that. I might as well put
That's
Nutella
way-
on it.
That's way out
Do
of
you have
your...
Nutella? Would that be all right?
Well, chorizo, I mean, that's way out of your colour
Oh, I
spectrum.
can't have it at the moment. God
Oh, I
forbid.
see.
No,
bright
I
pink.
don't. I don't want to end up with teeth like a Southampton shirt. But I'm on about when I've finished bleaching. I mean, it's not going to be forever, the bleaching.
No.
Well, you say that. Bleaching's
Oh, no.
not just for Christmas, it's for life.
I hope I don't get hooked on it.
Bleaching
That'd be
is not just
terrible.
for Room 101, it's for life.
Well, as Alan was suggesting in the break, it's a bit like the Forth Bridge. You start at one end and bleach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't work like you don't do one tooth at a time. That would be a nightmare. That when you're halfway across. That would really look awful. But, yeah, that seems to me to go against the whole spirit of the salad.
No, I'm with him. I'm totally with him on this.
You're with
Why?
Kerridge?
Yeah, I've got strong opinions on salad.
Oh, well, we'll come to those in a second.
Can't wait.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So Alan was going to tell us about the salads he likes.
Yes.
I totally am on board with adding what I like to call chorizo, being as I am from the north of England.
What is the proper pronunciation? I bought into...
Chorizo. I think people put a lisp in there, don't they? Chorizo.
Chorizo.
So that sounds
Oh, Professor.
this.
Where did the body come from? Okay.
Is that Fantasy Island Man?
No, I think it was Peter Lorre.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You sounded like
I don't know what you mean, Inspector. Oh, it could have been an X20 from Stingray.
No,
Anyway.
it sounded like Boss de Plane.
Whose voice do you use to say chorizo?
Don't text us.
Don't text us. We're not
No.
live. Don't
So
get
anyway,
that stupid idea out your head.
You would put that in a salad.
I think anything...
But what's the point of having a salad if you're going to put, like, unhealthy fattening stuff in it?
No, it's not unhealthy.
No, it's not. I think
Take
you've got
that
very
back.
You've
You've
got
gotta
a very
go-
70s attitude towards food.
Which was...
So,
yeah.
sorry, Al, that will help him. Over to you.
I think salads are enjoyable if you make them...
Can I stop you right away? That's incorrect.
No, thanks.
it's a big if.
I've never enjoyed a salad in my life.
I think you have to make them...
It's because you haven't eaten a proper one.
yeah, I think you have to make them better with putting things in like chorizo, hot, like flash fry it, or a bit of chicken.
Flash fry it? What's
Halloumi.
that mean?
Halloumi works. Put in hot stuff that's
Right.
delicious and surround it
Can
by
you
bulky
Google-
salad.
Halloumi menu in?
Can you Google flash fry before trying it? That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I don't want none of the old squeaky cheese stuff.
A lovely
that's
bit
good.
of avocado.
Hey, it's white. That'd be good for your teeth.
Oh, actually, yes, maybe I will get some of that.
Pine nuts,
Anything white, I'll eat.
avocado,
Avocado,
goat's
awesome.
cheese.
Meringue, I've been on meringue for 2 weeks.
You can't put those in the salad.
No, meringue
Well,
salad.
that's the idea, isn't it? That you put stuff that isn't salad in salad to mix salad. I don't need a sort of a less hardcore salad.
Yeah.
Do they do tin salad?
No, but you could put in some tinned fish there. Perhaps some anchovies or some mackerel.
It's really awful stuff. Also, it's so difficult. A knife and fork was not designed for a salad.
No.
A lettuce leaf with a knife and fork, it's an impossibility.
As you know, I fairly frequently eat my salad from the carrier bag that it comes in.
Oh,
from
yes, I forgot about that.
with the just pour a tin of anchovies
Oh,
in
he
there
does.
and have it in a hotel room, like
What I was thinking of getting at
psycho.
home, over my table, is getting one of those arcade claws
Oh, perfect.
that lift up the cuddly toys.
Yeah.
Just have the operating hands. Lift up the salad, then just get underneath it. So that I replicate the hole, the teddy bear hole.
Presumably the teeth gum shield thing came with some kind of bib for spattering, so you could put that on first and then
There's
lower
no bib,
the...
no bib.
there's no bib. No bib. Oh,
This
bit.
whitening thing is good because it will make you eat less. Because your options are greatly diminished.
That's true. Well, then,
I don't think eating less is always the answer. Eat more fat and less sugar. You'll be fine.
I mean, I don't know if Emily will ever speak to you again after that. Eating
I
less
think it's
not
happened.
the answer.
Yeah.
You know what they say?
Sort of maniac,
lifetime
are
on
you?
the lifetime on the
The lips.
gum shield. I'm trying to think of something that rhymes, but it's all rude.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We just got excited about salads. I was just reminiscing about the Cobb at the Polo Lounge. Hello.
I love a cob
The
salad.
Polo Lounge, where's?
I haven't got time.
I was
Genuinely, I have not got time.
I was reminiscing about the polos at the Cobb Lounge. That's all I can eat nowadays.
Where's that? In Broad Street?
Yeah, exactly.
The Polo Lounge is Beverly Hills Hotel.
Okay, you know so much. Who was the Cobb salad named after?
Oh. Is it a critic?
It's named after the chef that invented it.
I think it was named after the Detroit Tigers baseball player Ty Cobb.
Oh, is it? No, that sounds right.
That is a made-up fact.
No,
Is
and
it?
he used to go there and he used to eat it, just like Arnold Bennett when he lived at, I think, the Dorchester, was it he lived there? He used to have those
I don't know, but I love
eggs
that you look to
Arnold
me.
Bennett.
for that.
Eggs Arnold Bennett.
Have you never heard of Eggs Arnold Bennett?
Nope.
You know that Eggs Arnold Bennett? There's only Eggs Arnold Bennett. All this is true. Well, if only people could text in, I would be verified.
Don't text in, but feel free to email and we'll discuss this at some point.
Be right about
tweet!
You might be right about that, Ty Cobb.
No, I think that's made up.
Well, tell me more about this chef, then.
Why have I wandered into an episode of Would I Lie to You? I'm just doing a nice radio station with my friends, show.
And by the way, Frank, can I just say that until now, all the time I've known you, you've always been really negative about food conversations, and you're very welcome to join them. It's really fun, isn't it? Aren't we having fun?
No, I'm bored to death. and trust me, I'm not the only one. People all over Britain are saying, you know what, maybe capital's not as rubbish as we thought it was.
Alan's got a point. It's all you do, Frank, is criticise us for talking about food.
No, I always say, save those conversations for your ordinary friends.
I don't have any.
Oh, no, I forgot. Alan's got some. He lives in Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's all I've got there.
Manchester, so much to Sorry, it started out as Morrissey and became Anthony and the Johnsons. Often the case with my fancy dress escapades. But more of that, maybe later.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
Don't text the show.
No.
Silly. Because we're not live. And if you listen to this on podcast, don't text the show either. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website, by all means. But don't text it.
Well,
now, what was me talking about?
I think the teeth again.
Oh, let's shut up about my teeth now.
Okay. By the time this does go out, because we are pre-recording it, I'm wondering how the...
They'll be whiter still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't wondering about your teeth.
That's where you were going with that one.
It's all about his teeth. No, I'm wondering how much momentum the story about this boat being potentially named Boaty McBoatface.
Oh, yes.
Boat.
Hello? Yes?
Yes. Yes, Boaty McBoatface.
It's a research vessel.
Research.
You are. Oh, no, sorry, that didn't quite work. We'll do that again, Paul.
Well, I don't know what a research vessel is, but I don't think a boat is the best place to do any research on.
You don't?
I mean, the Petri dishes will be all over the place.
That's a good point, yeah. Once the waves come up, I'm not nautical.
Kind of do the research on dry land.
It costs 200 million quid.
Yeah.
What are they doing on there?
Must be a ship, surely. Can't be a boat.
I think it might be a ship.
And they're calling it Boaty McBoatface.
No,
they call it ship-faced. No, they can't call it that. You're quite right.
Ship happens.
Yeah, exactly.
These are good suggestions.
Yeah, ship happens would be a brilliant.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think they've done that thing that they've said, hey, Internet, why don't you suggest what we call our boat?
They have.
And then people have made stupid suggestions, and then they've gone, and we'll possibly use your suggestion.
See, that's wrong, isn't it?
You can't do that with these people.
I think the scientists will be on this, because his boat goes from pole to pole, doesn't it? It does a bit of North
Michael
Pole,
Palin.
a bit of... Yeah, it does. I thought it was about my teeth.
They could have called it Michael Palin if it's going to go from pole to pole. That'd be fun.
I'm going to say that I'm doing a bit of a Michael, because I'm paling my... Anyway, so... It goes from pole to pole, so a box-to-box player, and it works for the National Environmental Research Council, which is called NERC.
Yeah, NERC.
Mm-hmm. So I wondered, could they call it Polar NERC?
Polar
As in like a Polar NERC jumper.
Very good. That is really
I mean,
good.
come on, get it in the pot.
That is so complicated.
Trips off the tongue,
I mean,
it
only takes
Polar
about
NERC.
48 seconds of explanation.
I know, but they've got, let's face it, they have all the time. If you're going from pole to pole, you'd be glad of something to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted names like Endeavour or Shackleton or something like that. Those good sort of solid explorer names. But that's not going to happen with these people.
It has to have RRS at the front of it.
Oh, does it?
So it's Royal
What does that mean, then?
Royal Research Ship.
Oh, okay.
So whatever it is, it's RRS Rasputin.
Oh, yeah.
That would work.
Others have suggested Usain Bolt.
I know,
all right.
that's just silly.
You think?
I know.
Because it's a ship.
Oh, so we've got to call it a ship. Well, we've already come up with...
Yeah, that one's good. Yours is good.
There was one
Did you
bloke...
like mine?
I saw one bloke, he suggested... There's a bloke called Sandeep Coratona, I think his name was. And he suggested it was called the RRS Sandeep Coratona. I used to love him when he was in Atomic Kitten.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Yeah, so, the Nurk boat.
Yeah.
Boaty McBoatface. Scottish.
Das Boat.
It is Scottish.
I would have gone
Scottish.
That's boots, I think you say it there.
I know, but it's
Das
a pun.
Boat.
I'm saying Das Boat.
Yes.
It's my name for it.
Okay.
Rod Hull and Howard Stern.
Oh.
You know.
What a double act that would have been. They interviewed a bloke called Lord West.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the, let me get this right, he was a former First Sea Lord. And he said, it's nice that people are joining in, but you simply can't have a silly name. And I thought, this bloke was the First Sea Lord. Which so sounds like something from Doctor Who or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said, this is a phrase I haven't heard for ages. He said, it's obviously the silly season. People always used to talk about the silly season.
That is good. I quite often talk about Mad Half Hour at home.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What's
I haven't heard that.
Mad Half Hour, like when the dog just goes out and runs in the garden in a circle for ages. I'll go, she's having a mad half hour.
That was when you went to the pub.
Yeah.
Does your dog ever do this? I had a dog that used to...
I was telling dog stories after the food. It's just become like some neighbour.
Frank's gone really normal since getting his gum shield.
The dog used to stand absolutely still for about a minute and a half. Just standing like a statue. And then he would just flick out of it and go back.
No.
Absolutely terrifying.
Our dog lies still in a circle like a cat for about 23 hours of every 24.
No, but I'm on about standing up. I'm on about
Right. No.
I knew standing up because sometimes I used to limbo under it for a lark while it was completely still. But I just wondered if it was. I mean, I'm hoping, looking back now, you look so surprised it wasn't having a series of cardiac arrests.
Yeah.
I'd feel terrible that I was just like bringing friends round to look at it. Oh no.
It's not just the boat that I think has been misnamed in this article.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Mirror, which is where I read about it.
No, that's what it's called.
Said marine research fans have flooded an online poll, and I thought, no, bored people on the internet have flooded an online poll, not marine research fans.
I bet there are marine research fans.
Do you think there are?
That's what. Science has become very popular.
I was going to say marine research fans, a lot of Doctor Who watchers.
Do you think so?
Yeah, come on.
I'd have thought Stingray. Mainly Stingray.
It's all your lot,
Voice
Frank.
of the bottom of the sea. Who come up with that name for a show? Voyage to the bottom of the sea. I mean, that sounds like... That's like the treatment for it, not the...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that Darius Vessel.
Don't text in with who came up with the name.
Come on, wasn't he a footballer?
With Richard Basart and David
Darius
Hedges.
Vessel.
Yeah.
Darius Vessel.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Vessel. That's my name.
Oh, Darius Vessel.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. It's all going very well.
Yeah. I think he played for Birmingham or somewhere.
I think he played for the Villa, didn't he?
Oh, did he? One of your lot, anyway.
Titanic. What about Titanic? And then brackets, not that one. Close brackets.
No, it needs to be something if you could get scientific into
It's going to be a bit tricky with us three.
Titanic.
The Titanic versus... Oh, no. Oh. I'm all right. Just leave me alone. I'm eating
Leave
strangely.
him, Alan. Don't rock the boat.
Look at this.
Don't rock the boat.
I've got a white chocolate rabbit over here. It's all going so well.
Is this why we've got white chocolate now? Because of your teeth, Mariah?
Yeah, that's the idea. It's all right, we've got some snow for after.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I read some gossip this week, which I particularly loved, because talk about late bit of 3 a.m. It was about 7 a.m. this one, by the time it came through. It's sort of to do with, well, it's to do with a couple of girl bands. Mel B.
Oh, yeah.
Remember her?
Do remember her.
She had a fight once with Shaznay off of All Saints.
Oh, yes, I did hear about that.
Mel B said she started giving me attitude, so I tried to rip her weave off.
Oh, dear. Fancy just owning up to that as if it's all right.
That's what happened between you and Judi Dench when you had your beef outside
I didn't try
the
to
island.
rip her weave off.
No.
She did it to you.
She gave you a death stare, didn't
When
she?
you consider that the amount of stick the Native Americans have got for that kind of thing. Yes, it sounds proper aggressive.
Mm-hmm. She said, and then she choked me, and then we kind of got split up, but I won. No,
I
you
like
didn't.
that.
She choked you.
I won.
You didn't win, you just got the weave. She
Yeah.
choked you.
I suppose she left with a trophy,
What, the weave?
whereas I doubt if Shaznay left with anything from her throat.
True.
Wow.
A voice, maybe. Do you see what I mean? I know it's. I think if a man told that story, wouldn't you think he was a bit unpleasant?
Violent.
Yes.
Vulgar.
I've always found that whenever I've met her, very nice.
Who, Mel B?
Mel B.
But I like the fact that she thinks that somebody else... She tried to choke her, she pulled her hair a little bit, and that's a win. Like, how? How's that a win? On points? Who was
I
judging
saw
it?
2 women fight outside the Queen's Head once.
Brilliant.
Down Albury.
I already,
Sure they're
I
women.
already like this story.
And one of them...
Definitely women.
one of them suddenly ripped the other one's earring out. Oh dear, there was there was all these blokes watching it all go, "Wee," this fight. As soon as that happened, they went, "Oh God!" Blah. That was the end of that.
I thought the most vicious thing that Mel B did was during the course of this interview, when she was retelling this anecdote from the 90s, she began it by saying, there was this girl group once called All Saints.
Oh yeah, late review.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're back, well.
Ouch-a-rama.
They're back.
I think she
know.
realised that they were back, and partway through
Yeah.
the interview she went, actually, they've got a new song out and I like it. I think she backpedaled
Well, she was
somewhat.
trying to do a bit of a Chico on them. She was treating them with contempt, and then she realised.
Well, there's a curry house by me, and
That's a nice
good story.
So what are you doing this weekend, Al?
I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
He only goes there for white rice and naan bread.
How are you going to go to the curry house in your
Well,
condition?
I haven't been since I've been
He's
bleaching.
not had sagaloo for a while, that's for sure.
Oh,
All that
Alan,
spinach.
Isn't it embarrassing? He's one of those people now that friends invite him out for dinner and things. Oh, fancy an Italian, Frank? Oh, no, I can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're all going, oh, light whitening. No.
I'll have
Light
mozzarella.
whitening, ooh, light whitening. So, I went there one week, and who was on the next table? Mel C.
Oh, yeah.
I went there 3 weeks later. Who was on the next table? Natalie Appleton.
Wow.
I mean, in quick succession.
Imagine seeing famous people in London.
I know, but people from the 90s...
Come on.
People from 90s girl bands, that's quite a coincidence.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, I went in last night. Cleopatra coming at you.
No way.
No, I made that one up, I must admit. But I'm always excited to see... they're both lovely women as well.
Yeah.
I can't imagine either one of them ripping anybody's weave off.
No.
Oh, I imagine both of them.
Do you? Can you?
Wouldn't... Can you?
Would you? Can you? Do you?
Should you?
I wouldn't get on the wrong side of those two.
What is the wrong side?
Well, I wouldn't like to know.
No,
You know when you said, what is the wrong side? That's like when you say when people say, I've double-checked, and you say, have you double-checked?
I don't understand.
I mean, you've got the same attitude when you say it. Daisy, you know what I mean.
Interrogating.
You can't
No,
get
I
interrogating.
Oh, this has gone very awkward now.
Why?
Do we need to get out of it before we go into the music, or should we just carry on?
I don't
Carry
know.
on. I'm not awkward, Frank.
Okay. I'm not then. In my head, all I can see is #orcs.
You're listening to the Frank Skinner podcast from Absolute Radio. Want your Frank fix a little sooner? Listen live every Saturday from 8 a.m. on Absolute Radio. Across the UK on digital radio, mobile apps, and in London and the South East on 105.8 FM.
Absolute Radio.
What I like about the Mel B stories, there's an element of that late review thing about it. It's like late gossip. Because that's an anecdote that should have been told 20 years ago, and then it's come out now.
Exactly.
And it's nice. It's given it a sort of a period feel to it, which I quite like.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams told me a story. I mean, I'm not one to gossip,
Can
as
we
you know.
say this?
You're not one
Can
to
you tell me?
gossip.
Well, do you think it's all right?
Well, I'll tell you the story. I
Okay.
think you'll find it's all right. He said he was, I think he was at the Brits.
Yeah.
And he'd had some sort of falling out with, I can't remember the details, but he went to the toilet, and it was those sort of single bowl urinals, you know what I'm talking about?
I know.
And he was standing at one of those. Mel B burst in to the men's toilets. And then she also went to the toilet in the next urinal, sort of, in a way, you know, so she sat facing him and told him off. So they were both. I know. And, look, it's like a sort of lover's seat. You know those lover's seat that you sit so you can stare at each other?
That is a very positive spin you're putting on that, but yeah.
Yeah. So she sat and he stood, and they talked and passed water simultaneously.
That is
It's
such
quite
a nice
nice.
story,
Yeah.
isn't it?
you know-
And that's one of the... Or I imagine their faces starting off angry and then gradually calming down, but amid steam.
It's funny you've got
Like a
an
sauna.
anecdote about celebrities in the toilets in the 90s, because I've got quite a few.
Yeah, but this one,
But
you must
sadly,
admit...
I'm not allowed to tell it on
No.
commercial breakfast radio.
Well, that's maybe a good thing. But I thought
Yeah.
this one, it showed them both in quite a good light.
yeah, I do.
In that they carried on regardless.
When I read this, I did wonder if the phrase goss, you know, people call gossip goss now.
Yes.
I wonder how
goss.
long that's been happening. Yeah, I wondered if,
Oh, you
back in the
think-
day, people were saying, I've got some goss about Bros. I've got
Yeah.
some Bros goss.
Yes.
Yeah, about
Oh,
the
yeah.
goss Bros.
That's a good point.
I don't know if, I haven't checked the etymology of shortening gossip to goss.
What about, someone told me that they worked with Victoria Beckham.
Oh, yeah.
Before, I think, had she actually married him at this point? I don't know. But her family lived in a house, a sort of they had quite a nice house, but she was never posh. I mean, that was just her nickname because she was sort
Good
of...
heavens, no.
But they're doing all right, and they had quite a sort of a mock Tudor house, you know, quite a big house in the
Commuter
country.
belt, yeah.
And he had to pick her up to take her to this recording thing. And he knocked on the door and she opened the door. And in the hallway of this quite so reasonably normal house, they had a medieval suit of armour facsimile, full-sized.
They
Nice.
did not.
Now, come on. That's good.
That is great. That is great.
Yeah, what about that? My third piece of gossip, and
Go
I'll
on.
leave it here,
Okay.
was I must have told you this one.
Right, you've got some great bits of 90s gossip.
I knew they're all Spice Girls based. That, I knew
Well,
an
there's one I've got that I hope you're not going to tell, but anyway.
I doubt. No,
Okay.
this one's perfectly
Okay,
fine.
okay.
An air steward told me that David and Victoria was on an aeroplane that he was on, and when he went to their, they'd asked him for a pen and paper, so he'd gone and got them a paper and a pen. I don't know why he changed the order, but you know what they're like. And when they'd left all this paper and that behind, and they'd spent, I think it was a 3-hour flight, playing noughts and crosses.
Oh,
That
I
is
like
nice.
that.
I mean, I thought that was gone as a game. And he said there were several, like, incompleted
Oh,
ones.
stalemate.
That's how well matched they were.
What about when I sat lay next to Keith Flint from The Prodigy?
Oh,
I was on a plane,
yeah.
in fairness, and this was obviously in the 90s, but he had the little silver
I remember
spike.
the horns, yeah.
Yeah, he had
Oh,
the
yeah.
horns on, but he had the little slipper socks, which I liked, poking out of the end.
Oh.
I like that
lovely.
one end's a bit demonic and the other end's quite cutesy.
Love
And
it.
I was there taking full advantage of the facilities,
Yes,
drinking the bar dry, love.
yeah.
And Keith, they said, can we get you anything? He went, you got any scones? And he said, scones.
Oh, lovely.
And he said, a cup of tea would be nice. I love a tea, don't you?
I hope you had a lemon tea, because what would have been great if they'd have bought a half lemon and he'd have got the juice out on one of his horns, like on one of those lemon
And I walked
squeezes.
past him, Frank, and he had the telly on, and he had his little slipper socks, And I saw him laughing. You know when they've got the headphones on and they're laughing at some jokes and things? With his tea, scones, he looked so happy.
I think he had his tea quite milky in the scone because he was bleaching his teeth. That's a bit of 90s gossip.
I don't think anyone, but he's bleaching his horn. We've all done it.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Shall we go? I tell you where we haven't been for a long time. is Email Corner. Email Corner.
I totally agree, Frank.
Email Corner.
Comedy rule of three, very nice.
Email Corner. I haven't finished it. Email Corner.
Okay, that's enough now, darling.
Okay.
I agree, we haven't been here for pure time, have we? It's been a long time.
Pure time.
Good morning, Frank, Emily,
Give me one
and
time.
Alun.
Remember that? Give me one time.
No.
No.
Is that the Fugees?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
No, it's not gimme one time.
Isn't it?
No, he just went one time.
Didn't it? Didn't say give me one time.
He just made that up. Gimme one time.
Maybe I'm thinking of gimme a man after midnight.
Well, that was a whole other decade and type of He went one time.
Also, it can sometimes be hard to nail down
Did
your
he say
impressions.
the second one? Did he say two time?
2 time.
I think it was 2 time.
Yeah, because that was the second time he said it. He went,
That's
one
what
time.
I'm going to say. If Kath ever cheats on me, I'll just walk in and say 2 time.
Try 7 time.
Yeah, that's what I did when I was going out with Snow White.
Anyway.
Here's an email. Why don't I read it?
Yeah.
Good morning, Frank, Emily and Alun. Long-time reader, first-time emailer. Just taking on your late review theme. I think we've covered that. I don't need to bring anyone in. We sometimes review things late. Wouldn't it be
Plague, for example.
Yeah, par example. Wouldn't it be good to do a 10 years later awards? It's hard to judge so quickly what's the top film or singer, for example, but 10 years on we can see their respective impact.
That's true, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Often people get things and then you just can't remember them after. And you think, if only we'd taken more time.
Mm-hmm. Braveheart won Best Picture at the Oscars 10 years ago, but if we're all being honest, it's garbage. I'd say the usual...
Whoa! Is it? Oh. I've never seen Braveheart, obviously.
One time.
I don't think I've seen it one time.
I haven't even seen it one time.
He goes on, I'd say The Usual Suspects is found in more DVD collections.
Yeah, but you can't judge things. I mean, I don't think I've seen a DVD collection that hasn't got Big in it.
Oh, I love Big.
But that doesn't make it a classic movie, does it?
Well, it's pretty great movie.
Pretty classic.
Is it a great movie?
Have you never seen it?
I don't think I have.
But,
good. You know, it's another late review.
Yeah.
Big.
Well, that was the...
Catch it while you can.
That was what I call... it was the Central Reservation years.
Yes, that's true. It's
can
good, isn't it? I might watch Big then.
Frank, the crying years.
Crying years?
I don't think I did much crying.
Central Reservation years.
Oh,
yeah, but I
was a film.
Acronym.
Well, I see.
Carry on.
10 years ago, the BAFTA for Best Light Entertainment programme went to Don't Forget Your Toothbrush. I'd argue that Knowing Me, Knowing You with Alan Partridge was a worthier winner.
He's done a bit of research, this character.
I just wonder if Knowing Me, Knowing You with Alan Partridge was in the LE section that year.
Yes.
It might have been in comedy.
Might have been in comedy rather than light ents, you know. Anyway, shiny floor show compared to a comedy sitcom.
Yes.
It's not a like-for-like comparison, but anyway.
I don't want anyone...
I've got a bit Partridge myself there.
I don't want anyone having a recount about the charts of 20 years ago.
No.
I don't want Gina G staying on top instead of getting knocked off by us. Did you know I'd knocked off Gina G?
Had you?
Yeah, she was...
Bit of gossip that I heard from Mel B.
She
was that? Was that Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit?
Ooh Ah a Little Bit More?
No, it was called Three Lines. Yes, we knocked her off the top.
Good for you.
Another bit of 90s gossip there.
Good for you.
Where is she now? She never got over that.
I don't think Gina G did get over that, I think.
I'd love to know what Gina G's doing now.
Well,
I don't mean now.
I know some stuff about her.
Do you? I know. I mean, what she's doing precisely now. Is she in Australia?
I don't know.
Was she Australian?
She went out with a very famous fashion photographer for a while, and that's it.
Did she really?
We'll talk.
Okay.
Who would that? I'm trying to think if I know of it. Norman Hartnell.
No.
Was he a fashion...
Yeah, he used to design the Queen's clothes. Back
Well, there you go.
Would you rather...
He's got a nerve showing his face here after that. After that rigmarole. Anyway.
We're going to come back to this email.
We are, but I have to play music next.
All right, let's do that then.
Also, I don't know about you, I'm always happy with a Norman Hartnell digression.
Not...
I can picture him now, white hair, maybe. He's a man who you wouldn't think it odd if he had a mother-of-pearl cigarette holder. There aren't many men you can say that about.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We were in Email Corner and we're partway through an email about the 10 Years Later Awards.
It's very clever, this, because I wonder how many people would retain their awards 10 years on.
He continues, the sports personality went to Damon Hill, a man capable of driving the fastest car the fastest, a man who had won 2 years prior for being second. Shearer being top scorer at Euro 96, ? Faldo winning the Masters, maybe. It'd be a great ceremony.
Fed up with this. You know, I said I was loving it.
Yeah,
why are you fed up with it?
Well,
Faldo. The sports gets a bit... Although, to be honest, when he says a man capable of driving the fastest car the fastest, that made me suddenly feel differently about motorsports. I've never...
Yes.
Because I don't think I could do that. Like, if you say motorbikes, if you went, right, like, all you guys have a motorbike each.
No, we don't.
Alan, hypothetically.
I'd never have one.
Alan, you've got the fastest one. Can you ride it I would be scared. Like, it's not just as easy as that.
It is.
But you can't compare...
It
It is as easy, just go the fastest. Done.
Look, you can't compare Damon Hill's achievements with those of Norman Hartnell.
No.
Keep going on about Norman
know if
Hartnell. You
anybody-
only found out who he was 2 seconds ago.
If anybody wants
Didn't I named him?
You named him for the wrong job. I had to tell you he was the Queen's designer.
What did I
We're
say he
getting
was?
slightly
He
bogged
thought he
down
was a
from...
photographer.
Well, I bet he took photographs of her on the sly.
Well, darling, we've all taken photographs on the sly.
Well, not of the Queen, I haven't.
I don't know, I just use stamps or money for that.
No longer with us, by the way, Norman Hartnell.
Have you met the Queen?
Well, who knows?
I
It's
have
a
met the
pre-record.
Queen.
When did you meet her?
I said, how's Norman? She said, dead.
No, you didn't.
Moved on. She just moved on. I mean, she didn't try and break it gently or anything. After what he's done for her, and she still wears the frocks, you know, she'll recycle 20 years. You're talking about this, 10 years on.
Oh, she was never out of that atelier.
Because you know why? Because she's never replaced Norman Hartnell, that's why.
Well, she has.
That's what she told me. No, she said not really. She said that there's people in, but they're not Norman. She said to me.
didn't say that.
I said, of course they're not Norman. They left in about in the 11th century. She laughed.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily, Dean and Alan Cochrane. Don't text the show today because, well, just don't. Why don't you trust me? Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
So we learned earlier in the show not to ever ask the internet a question about what to name your boat, Boaty McBoatface. I would take that a little bit further, and I would say don't ever hold a microphone out to a member of the general public when you're a performer.
Oh, look what happened with me when Frank did that.
What happened? I don't know.
I ended up on this show.
Oh, you're here.
We got there.
Rihanna held a mic out. Well, mid-song, she held the mic out to some guy that was at the front, like, for him to sing a line, and he sang a line or two and blew everyone away, and now everyone's saying he's amazing. He upstaged Rihanna. He upstaged her.
I wonder if he'll actually get a recording contract on that.
Oh.
No.
He might do, because...
There would be a story, wouldn't there?
Tara Stewart.
Pardon?
Tara Stewart, his name was.
Oh,
okay. I thought we were back to Braveheart. He had got a beautiful voice, fair play to him. And also I don't suppose he'd rehearsed and was ready for it. She just suddenly, she thrust. You know how she can. She thrust Rihanna and he just went straight in on it. I mean, it's a risk.
4 or 5 seconds.
I wouldn't risk it, say, because I would never be confident that they would know the song. You're really thinking, these people love me so much, they know every song I've done and every lyric.
yeah.
Tremendous confidence.
I mean, I've been to see bands that I don't know the stuff, and I just do that thing where I go, la, 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 sort of mime along.
Oh, do you?
You do that? Why do anything? Just
that's
watch
a good
them.
point. I should just frown. Just stand at the front and frown. That
Won't
might
break the habit of a lifetime.
that might freak them out a bit.
Oh, getting a bit nasty.
If she stuck the mic out to me, I would have had to have gone, yeah, my wife bought the tickets.
I'd have scattered.
Into the mic. You'd have scattered.
I'd have scattered. That's how frightened I'd have been.
Oh, I love a scat, Frank.
I'd have scattered. I'd gone, come back with the mic. Come back with the mic. I haven't finished. Hello? And that's how it would have
They
gone.
would believe it. 4 or 5 seconds. Do you know how that one goes, Frank?
4 or 5 seconds. 4 or 5 seconds of love with you.
No.
One crazy night. That's all it took. Is it that one?
No.
That is lovely, though.
Thanks.
I mean, if only she'd thrust that mic out to you and you'd been there.
That would have shocked if I had done it completely. Sorry. I bet she'd have said, "What you talking about, Willis?"
Do you think?
It's the sort of thing. She's such a card. No, I don't know. How does it go? 4 or 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Oh, she's singing
That's
it
what
now.
Frank did. That's the same as Frank did.
It's not the same.
It is exactly the same.
4 or 5 seconds
What are the chances?
of It's the ending. It's the ending.
I believe she gets 4 or 5 seconds from Wilding. Is that right?
From Wilding?
4 or 5 seconds from Wilding. That's quite good.
From Wilding?
I don't know.
Wilding.
I think it is Wilding.
I wonder
She
what that
sings it with
means.
Kanye West and Paul McCartney.
Well, that's... How did that happen?
Who booked that? Graham Norton?
What? Was there a derailment? And they were stranded in the middle of the country. While we're here, I got some sound equipment with me. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. And off they go. Where are you? Aren't you cold in just a bra and knickers? No, I'm fine. Don't tell nobody now. So, there you
Those
are.
3 sung together. Curious bedfellows, but it happened.
It's brilliant that happened.
And you say bra and knickers, but she looks amazing in the clip because she's got
certainly
a...
no bra. That's certainly no bra at all. I mean,
she's
you're a
got a-
millionaire. Buy a brassiere.
No, but it's the most clothing I've ever seen her in. She's got a trouser suit on and
she's
high
got
heels.
trousers, but I mean,
She looks like...
Come on.
She looks
She
terrible.
looks like she's gone straight there from the office. I loved it.
She looked very
Absolutely loved it.
Wisconsin lawyer.
Business chic.
well, Wisconsin lawyer who's got a drink problem. She's got.
I loved it.
I know, but you loved it for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, you were sitting
Yeah, I
right
think I
up
might have
close
loved it
with the
for all the
remote.
I
wrong
don't want.
reasons,
If I
you're
come
right.
to see someone sing, I don't want the bust in my face. I just.
Good to have a rule. Good to have a rule.
It is exactly, and I live by that. I mean, she's got a beautiful voice. Trust yourself.
Absolute
Absolute.
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I still can't get over that neither of you boys know that 4 or 5 seconds.
We're talking about 4 or 5 seconds.
Oh, your Frank knows it.
Oh yeah.
He accidentally
Baby.
wrote it.
There's a baby in it.
Isn't there a baby in it? Has there ever been a song with a baby in it? Baby.
No.
Okay, but it sounds lovely anyway.
That's a lovely song.
I'll look
Tell you
into
what I
it.
did like
I'll get on Spotify.
is that she
Have you seen my dog?
Do you use that Spotify now, Frank?
I do use it occasionally, yes.
do you?
You're a bit confused last time.
Was I?
Yeah.
I think I'm all right with Spotify.
What about Netflix?
I don't know.
He's not on.
It's a different world.
He's not up for Netflix. He's not up for WhatsApp.
Don't understand it.
It's like the Enigma code to him.
Yeah.
It is. I'm going to have a drink of sterilised milk.
Someone call his sponsor.
I'll tell you what I did like about the article is that there's a picture of Rihanna in a trouser
Oh, yes,
suit.
I know you like that.
But she's crouching down to hold out the microphone to this
come
chap.
on.
This chap.
Come on, it's not late night.
She's doing that. You know, a few weeks ago we were talking about the squat position that I sometimes adopt to stretch out my back.
I told you never to talk about stuff we say after the show.
Oh, I see. No, it was on broadcast, but properly, like a nice deep squat. I mean, it's great. It's very good form.
Well, I mean,
Really
one thing
impressed.
about
Really
Rihanna,
impressed.
I bet she's no stranger to the gymnasium. I wouldn't have thought.
Nah.
Well, with that kind of hip stability, she'd be an excellent gardener. She could do...
I bet you're right up
could
close
do
to the
weeding.
telly with the remote.
I bet she doesn't garden. I'd be very surprised to hear that. Can you imagine
Her
that?
hands dirty with the
Maybe,
weeds.
maybe
mate.
get some high-heeled wellies and she's away.
Oh, imagine a pair of knee pads.
Isn't it a good job that the guy could sing?
Digging out the Japanese knotweed.
I know.
Imagine if she'd held out the mic and he was like,
Well, there's a clip. I think Beyonce does it to some woman, and she goes like that.
do you think that's what they're hoping for? Do you think it makes them look amazing if they hold the mic
I think
out?
Beyonce actually said, "What the." I think she did say, and
Which
then
is
she
strange
stopped
because
herself.
people only ever used to say that in Minder and the Bill.
Yes.
Now, Tara Stewart, it turns out, he has some interesting vibes on him.
Oh, do you know about him?
Yeah, we're friends.
Oh, that's good.
Are you friends?
Well, I know about
Social
him
media friends.
in the sense that you know about Norman Hartnell. I found out 2 minutes ago about him.
Yes, okay.
He said...
I knew about Norman Hartnell before. I knew who he
Okay,
was, sort
okay.
of.
it's not a boast.
Yeah.
And everyone...
I knew about
don't-
Norman
I'm
Hart.
not,
How's that a boast?
Can everyone calm down about Norman Hartnell?
I'm not slow on all
Self
things,
chestnut.
all things Hartnellian. I'm across, I'm right across.
He said, Tara Stewart,
Yeah.
he said, y'all don't understand how long I've been riding for Rihanna. Mm-hmm. Now, this means fandom, does it? Riding?
I didn't know that. I assumed
Actually,
that
you
she
two
had
don't know
that.
4 or 5 seconds with Paul McCartney, Kanye West, feat Rihanna. How are you going to know this?
I know I feel like a
No,
fool.
I think there is a language barrier thing. I think he's and you're into the equestrian now, aren't you? I think he's her farrier. When
I'm
she
not
says
just into it. I'm wearing my
when
yard
she says
clothes.
she don't know, how, he
Maybe
says
maybe she's training now, and he's at one of the jockeys. Maybe
yeah.
she's got collars.
yeah, that's right.
Can you imagine Rihanna's silks? It'd be a tiny little sliver of silk. The poor people having to drive in just riding just their pads. Oh dear.
Oh, is that what it means, Al?
I think that's what it is. I think
I
she-
think he's obviously a mega fan. Well, he knows the words to 4 or 5 seconds.
Well, he's in her navy.
Did you
They
call
call
it
it her-
4
they
or
call it her
5?
name.
He's in her navy, is he?
Yeah, they call it...
He's not otherwise known as Boaty McBoatface. Oh, these people, they're endlessly entertaining. I envy them that.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, we were talking about Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yeah, that Rihanna sure is a fine lady.
Her new album is, I'm
album, you
led
say?
to believe, is called Anti, A-N-T-I, all caps, which I found confusing because when I was reading the article it said the anti-artist, and I thought, well, it's commercial, but she's not that bad.
No,
It's like she's having a crack at it. Let's not make her the enemy.
it's worried me about my title of my new book's called Up the Ante. Oh dear. That thing about just completely assuming that someone will know the words to your song. Someone
Yeah.
told me they saw Margie Clark
Oh, yeah.
doing a show
Oh,
in Edinburgh.
let's Brezhnev.
Yeah, she did a show in Edinburgh and she went on and she said, right, anyone here now, come on, put your hands up. What's your favourite line from Letter to Brezhnev? Well, I mean, it showed tremendous confidence.
Well, I know loads of
Well,
ones.
not a hand went up. I mean, the poor lamb. She had to just busk it through.
I know
Yeah, but
all
you
off by
can't.
heart. I could have done that.
Really? Give us a good line from Letter to
Tell
Brezhnev.
I God I love him. It's not a great line.
No, I quite like it. I like the Igor
There's
element.
there's a
The
lot
Igor
of,
element, they're a great band.
there's a lot of expletives. This is the
Oh, well,
problem. I
those
can think of
people- oh,
5,
what?
all with expletive.
Really? You know that many lines from Letter to Brezhnev?
That's all me and my sister did, was watch that film.
Fantastic.
Never made it to Russia, in. Never mind.
No, I've never made it to Russia. That's...
Hang on, is that a spoiler alert for Letter to Brezhnev?
What?
That never made it to Russia. Do they make it? They don't make it.
No, we don't.
Well, I'm not telling you.
We're reviewing it next week.
3 bottles of beer,
The
Frank.
Letter to Brezhnev would certainly be a late attempt. No, I must check it out.
Yeah. You'd
Do
like
you,
it.
do you hand over the microphone to the members of the Pain
I
Project?
don't I will dangle sometimes,
dangle?
leaning over the front row.
Oh.
But this is obviously after the gig. No, I will. I did it recently. I just dangle out and let them, like, you know, that they had to crane slightly upwards. Always keep them a little bit unrelaxed.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. No, you don't trust people.
I don't like them, is my problem.
No.
That's more my issue with them.
Oh, I tuned out there. Were you talking about Russians?
No.
Oh, I just heard you say I don't like them.
People.
I love Russians.
Well, we know you do.
Especially them cosmonauts.
You do love those, don't you?
I must go to Russia, it's I'm slightly fascinated.
Have you got any Russian friends?
No. Have you?
Well, I'm meeting one soon. I'll introduce you.
How do you know you're meeting one soon? Have you been to see a clairvoyant?
No, it's through a friend. I think I know a good Russian that you'd get on with.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I want to meet them. You see... Okay.
Anyway.
Of course, the most upstage I was... I mean, I must have told you this before, but I still remember it. I did a gig, and there was a... It was in North London. There was a blind man always used to sit in the front row. He was a regular there every week. And he was quite lively. He used to do a bit of heckling and stuff, and he became a local sort of character.
Yes.
And I went on and he said, "Get off your brummy git." And left a pause and said, "Has he gone yet?"
Nah.
I mean, what can you do? You're lost. You just have to take it on the chin.
Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
I tell you what I hate. I mean, I don't like being upstaged at all, Frank. But we all know there's one night of the year which is very much I have a slight ownership on, which is Halloween.
Oh,
because, well, some friends of mine have quite a good high-profile party, which I often go to, etc., etc. And at any Halloween party, I like to look the best. And then one year, we had a work party here to our management company, and Daisy decided it was going to be her night.
Oh, really?
She said, "Oh, what are you wearing?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." She went, "Oh, I might get a bit ready. I'm not sure what I'm doing." Full hair and makeup. She went for the blow dry. I'm sure she had a professional makeup artist, even though she said she wasn't going. You said you didn't, but it looked very professional. Spiders' webs painted on the face. I mean, she looked amazing. She got 4 hours in the hair. But I was underdone because I thought she wasn't making that much of an effort.
That's sly.
It was sly. And then I turned up and...
No, Sly Stone just went past the... Did you not see?
Oh, how are the family? Did you ask after them?
Stoned.
But yeah, Daisy upstaged me.
Okay.
But it was a good night for her, so I'm going to let her have that.
Oh,
I think it's quite nice, that, because...
Do you?
I mean, how many days does she have?
She's got youth on her side and beauty.
I know. But, they ain't worth a wooden nickel when it comes down to it.
Talk about your teeth like that. Since you've had them whitened, they're looking much better.
They did look like wooden nickels.
They looked quite wooden before.
They did look quite wooden. I missed that.
Like a fence.
I thought from a distance it looked like I'd swallowed a section of IKEA. Is that bad?
Do you feel a bit more GLAM now?
No, because I have been... I mean, we're back on my teeth now. I can't quite see the difference. Yeah, I so wish I'd colour carded them or whatever it is you call it.
Can we take a poll? To poll, can everyone raise their hands if they notice a difference? The entire room just raise their hands.
Yeah, but when it's staff, they have to. Sometimes they have to.
It's
say
not a
the
massive
right thing.
difference.
Remember, I'm their bread and butter.
Yeah, white bread and
white bread at the moment.
That's your lunch.
Yeah, lard. I'm having lard. It's whiter.
I would say the changing colour in your teeth is like. Do you remember old-fashioned milk when it had cream on the top and then you could see the rest? It's probably gone from cream down to milk. I see.
But is the cream still on the top? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, probably.
Cream's still on the surface, it looks like.
Now, I like that Aborigine Bosca we have here, but sometimes he gets too close to the studio. You can hear the overspill.
Totally.
Excuse me. I mean, I'm polite with him, but he's stubborn. I say. I'll deal with this later.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Can we go back to the corner, Al?
I think we could go back to email corner. It's been a while.
Leave it to me here. Email corner. How's that one?
That was good. I liked it.
Happy with that one?
Very like the sort of thing you'd make me watch on a box set whilst I cried.
Now it's an indication of how long it is since we visited Email Corner.
Hold on a minute. Email Corner.
Oh, we've not heard that for pure time, have we?
Pure time.
It
must have been about 4 or 5 seconds. Ooh, yeah. 4 or 5 seconds. Here we go.
Two time.
Anyway, this email is referring to a conversation that we had about congas.
Yes, I remember that.
Quite a while ago.
I told you not to talk about that.
It was Eel Week on Absolute Radio.
Was it? Conga Eel Week. I get it now. Out loud. I once remember trying... This is the emailer, not me, by the way. I once remember trying to get a conga going after a World Cup match in my local pub.
We've all done it.
I think it was against
depressing.
Germany. And I thought everyone would be up for it, but I remember feeling rather embarrassed when only myself and my mate were the only ones in the line. I'm not sure if it even constituted as a conga. Good point.
A one-man... I think I have done a one-man conga.
Oh, dear.
I felt...
Don't you just get sectioned if you do that?
Well, that's what he's saying. How many have to be in the line for it to count? So I would recommend letting other people start them unless you're sure it will be successful.
Right.
I feel like that about almost everything in life.
It's a good question, though. How many people do you need to constitute a conga?
It's like a
why
popular
can't you
twist
start
on the
it yourself?
tree in the forest,
I
isn't it?
started... Well, I was one of 4 people that did a standing ovation this week, and there were just 4 of us at the Empire Awards for Stanley Tucci Lifetime Achievement.
Oh.
Just us. Even his family weren't standing, Frank.
You're kidding
Even
me.
Matt Damon, who gave the thing, was like, no one stood. We
Matt
got
Damon's
it wrong.
related to him.
No, but he gave...
Matt Damon
picked
must
him
have
up.
been standing if he gave him the award.
He'd
didn't
sat down by then.
Oh, dear.
It was just us.
Well, I was one of 4 people that gave a standing ovation this week, and that was on a car park at 3 a.m.
Sorry, Al, as you were.
He asks
Let's
how
go
many...
back. Let's go back to the Conga
He
and
won't
Stourbridge.
care, though. He's not Tucci about it.
Oh, lovely man, actually, Frank, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he likes talking about food. He does, he loves it.
Yeah.
Were you asking him about white foodstuffs that you can eat?
And I was asking him to stop talking about food.
I would recommend letting other people start them unless you're sure it will be successful. I have been scarred for life by this event, and memories come flooding back at various parties now where one springs up and I get annoyed with the person up front for orchestrating it. Regards, Carl from Stourbridge.
Stourbridge, I bet he has them round the ring road.
Your neck of the woods.
Where's that then,
down to
Stourbridge?
Amblecote.
Where is it?
Stourbridge. You know, Adrian Charles was born in Hagley.
Oh, he's always telling me about Hagley.
Yeah, well, it's Hagley. It's that sort of neck of the woods.
He said it's sort of like... He said it's
southwest.
He said it's like Beverly Hills or something, or Birmingham.
Well, it is. You know, my dad used to say, if we win the pools, we'll move to Hagley.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, they were poor times.
They see you rolling, they hating.
Yes. That was, that's what it said on the sign on the way in. And twinned with Albuquerque.
Is it?
Yeah.
All
Who
right.
knew? Who knew?
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So we were in this email corner about the conga.
I am interested to know what constitutes a conga, at what point. So I had this argument with a driver recently who told me that he'd got 5 cars.
Show off.
And I said, that's a fleet. And he said, no, I don't think it's fleet. He said, fleet must be like 10 cars. I said, I don't. Well, where'd you get that figure from?
Fleet is... 5 I'd consider a fleet.
I think that's a
I'm
fleet.
with you on that.
So how many's a conga?
That's
2?
a good question.
If 2's a conga,
What's the
then
music, Frank?
Rihanna and Drake at the Brits did a conga.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, that's hardly likely.
Well, it's like saying Torval and Dean did a conga.
That would have
Is
been
that
great.
conga?
It is.
Oh.
Don't forget the middle 8.
I don't think there should... If there's a middle 8, then it's definitely a conga. 'Cause that's like 10 people in it.
Yes. Did you ever used to do the dying fly? We used to do the dying fly quite a lot.
Hang on,
What's
is this
that?
torture? Is this some kind of animal?
It's a
Is it a
tiss-was
dance?
type of thing. You lie on your back and kick your legs and arms in the air like a dying fly. To the tune of
Son and a
the you know, that typewriter song type thing.
What, did you do that in front of women and
We
things?
just did it. Well, initially in front of them and then behind them when they turned their backs in disgust. We didn't, you know, if you're a serious drinker, you don't really worry about things like
Do you not?
romance.
Do they have girlfriends and things?
I didn't really have girlfriends, I'll be honest with you. People don't like you when you got sick on you, as a general
That was the
rule.
least of your worries.
Yeah,
Whilst
but,
that was when Frank started with the white food.
White lightning.
The sick on him.
I think you meant the white spirits.
Yesterday when I was young, so many.
Yeah, but look
You're
at
right,
you now.
Charles. No, my throat is not good.
Do you know, when you did that, your teeth look so white.
Thank you, darling.
Dazzling.
It was worth all that pain. And thank you so much for listening to us this morning. Happy Easter to you all. And if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.